every light in the dash comes on, and I literally have fluids spitting out the front of the car. This 458 was one of my favorite cars. Ironically, I had a 488 prior to having the 458, and I had happened to go into a Ferrari dealer to order my 488 Spider. And as I walked in, 458 sitting there. Black on black, white stitching, perfect car, and I couldn't keep my eyes off of it. So while I was there and he kept trying to get me to build the 488, I said, I want that. And I bought the 458. So I took this car, this 458, and I put full Novatec carbon on it. I put some Anarchy wheels on the car. I mean, man, I did it up. The car was just perfect, beautiful car. Loved it. And it became my daily driver, so much so that when my 488 Spider came in, I couldn't buy it. I loved the 458 so much. So I would regularly just drive this car. I'm one that puts miles on my car anyway, but this car particularly, it's an everyday, I'm going to go on a drive in it car. So last Easter, I decided, it was Easter Eve when I first went out. I just randomly, middle of the night, decided, 11:30 at night, I decided I'm going to go for a nice, fast, fun run in my 458 Spider. Top down, beautiful night. Went for a little drive, pulled into a parking garage, and nobody's there. And it's just one of those perfect situations where I was flying up and down, sideways in the car, through the parking garage. Nobody's there. It's the night before Easter. Perfect opportunity. Come flying down the parking garage, jump onto the road. I was done with the antics. Everything went great. And as I'm going down the road, I'm not paying attention. It was a road I'm very familiar with. And there's a pole that you avoid on the left side. So I was in the right lane, and when it was time to go over, I went over. I was moving pretty well, and the car all of a sudden was airborne. They had installed these, not speed bumps, these big humps, and they had white poles where somebody else had already eliminated all of them for me, and the car literally went airborne, and it sounded like the whole bottom of the car was gone. A lot of the bottom of the car was gone. It came down. Every light in the dash comes on, and I literally have fluids spitting out the front of the car. I can see them as I'm driving. I am seeing fluids spit out the front of my car. When that happened to me, it was nothing short of shocking, because I had no idea what I hit. I thought I was literally just switching lanes, as I always have done there. Granted, I'm moving. I am really moving fast, but I had no idea. I saw nothing in the road at all. I just simply knew the car was literally up in the air. And it was a hard takeoff. It obviously struck something. I heard two distinct bam, bam. And then it just came down hard. And just shock. You know, you're just in utter shock. I had never wrecked. I had never damaged any of my Ferraris or any exotic cars whatsoever. So I'm thinking major damage. In fact, I know the guy that owns the biggest body shops here, the guy that would work on the cars, and fortunately I have his cell phone number. So it's the middle of the night. Here I am in a park. I'm just calling people at this point to call people, because first of all, I don't like standing here where I was in the middle of the night, and I'm in a panic. So I have him on the phone estimating damage based upon what it was. And we were getting up into thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And I'm thinking, the car's literally going to be totaled. I thought it was going to be some major frame damage or something. But I think that I came down. It would have been something really great to have on video, because it really went up. And I think the way I came down, I guess I'm just very lucky, if there is luck in that sense, in that kind of situation. Getting a tow truck driver on Easter is darn near impossible. I called everybody. I called even people that I knew, the dealerships. I had them on the phone, their tow truck driver. People aren't even answering the phone on Easter morning, which I thought, as a tow truck driver, I thought that, middle of the night, that's probably a really good time for business. So as I'm sitting there freaking out on the phone with my wife, she's telling me, she doesn't care, obviously. I'm the idiot that went out at middle of the night to go for a little drive. I was thinking about the story of Ed with the Aventador when all those were breaking down, trying to get a tow truck on Christmas Eve. And I always thought it really can't be that impossible, because they've got to work all hours. And I was quickly realizing that Easter is just as bad as Christmas Eve, that they apparently look for any reason to have the night off, and holidays are not the time to have any sort of incident whatsoever happen to your car. I got to the point where I went through the guys that we know are going to take care of our car and do it right. And I just took whoever I could possibly get. Unfortunately for me, that person was somebody who had just bought a new covered truck, wanting to be the exotic tow truck guys. And instead of first of all, it took them a long time to figure out how exactly to use their new truck, how to line the car up, how to get it on. I mean, the whole experience was nightmarish. They were super nice guys. I was grateful that they came out. But in the end, I'm paying $500, $600 for a short little trip just because my car is covered up, which at that point, I didn't care if it was covered up or not. Just get me to a shop, $150, get me there. But I was grateful to get them. But it literally took me, hours. I was there till the middle of the night just trying to get somebody to come pick me up. Finally got somebody to come get me, my friend at his shop. He opened the shop, we pulled the car in, we were able to fix it, thank goodness. $7,500 to fix it. I was pleased. I sourced a bunch of parts, got him to do it for me. It was scary the first time I looked under the car. It was one of those things where you did not want to look under the car. I had tires blown out, but somehow rims not damaged. I thought for sure the rims were going to be gone. The tub, the luggage compartment in the front of the car, completely trashed, smashed, gone. Ironically, that was the hardest part to get for the car, just the plastic tub. I had torn out all the protective coating in it. Somehow I hit a coolant line and a radiator, and I really avoided major damage to the car. You would have never believed it seeing it happen, but it was merely just replacing coolant line, some plastic parts, and a radiator, and I was back on the road, happy as could be. I was very lucky in what happened in the end. Maybe I hit something just right, I landed just right, I don't know. Somebody was smiling on me because under 10 grand to get away with that, frankly, it was worth the experience.
Whether you're packing for a cannonball or just going about your day, it's important to just carry what you actually need. The Ridge has a line of wallets and bags that help you to do just that. Leave the junk at home and just make sure that you've always got exactly what you need with you. So be sure to check out ridge.com/VINwiki and use the code VINwiki at checkout for a discount to let them know how much you appreciate their support of the VINwiki channel.